Everyone, myself Mantisha Hassan, and today we are going to discuss about the cell biology. So what do you mean by cell? All organisms are composed of cells. हर organism की body that is made up of cells. Now we have two different types of organisms on the basis of number of cells. That is unicellular organisms, and second we have multicellular organisms. So what do you mean by unicellular organisms? That is only single cell is present in unicellular. And what do you mean by multicellular? That is more than one cells are present in multicellular organisms. Unicellular have independent existence and they performs the essential functions of life. So what were the discoveries which were made by different scientists in different eras of time? First cell was discovered by Robert Hooke in Cork and in 1665. Living cell was discovered by Anton von Leeuwenhoek in the year 1671, and these cells were discovered in pond water. Nucleus was discovered by Robert Brown in the year 1831. There were two scientists, Schleiden and Schwann. Schleiden was a German botanist and Schwann was a German zoologist, Matthias Schleiden and Theodor Schwann. And they together formulated the cell theory in the year 1838, and they together give the cell theory in 1838 and 1839. So, what is the cell theory all about? That all living organisms are composed of cells. सारे living organisms किसके बने हुए हैं? They are all made up of cells. Now we have a scientist which later on came, that is Rudolf Virchow, and in 1855 he gave the modification of the cell theory. And what does the modification says? That omnis cellula e cellula, that all cells arise from pre-existing cells. Now this is also cell theory as now understood is that all living organisms are made up of cells and all cells arise from pre-existing cells. So this is the overall modification which was given by Rudolf Virchow in the year 1855. Next we have two types of cells on the basis of nucleus. We have prokaryotic cells and we have eukaryotic cells. What do you mean by prokaryotic cells? That means they have a primitive nucleus, and eukaryotic cells, that means they have a true nucleus. So cell is not covered, or the nucleus is not covered by a nuclear membrane in prokaryotic cell, and in eukaryotic cell the cell is covered, or the nucleus is covered by a nuclear membrane. So it possesses a true nucleus and they possess a primitive nucleus. Next we have cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is present in both prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells, and it is somewhat like the fluid. It is semi-fluid in nature, and it is the main arena of cellular activities in both plant as well as in animal cell. Next we have the cell organelles. We have membrane bound structures present in the cells which are known as eukaryotic, which are only present in eukaryotic cells, and prokaryotic cells lacks the major cell organelles. prokaryotic cell के पास cell organelles नहीं होते, membrane bound नहीं होते. So we have completed this sort of application. Next we have to talk about prokaryotic, eukaryotic, and what are the different structures in your plant cell or as well as in your animal cell. Thank you everyone.